The most ominous thing in the ULTRAKILL universe is not what you would have expected. It is not an almighty colossal demon capable of relentless destruction, or one of God's powerful, ruthless archangels. The most ominous entity is in fact one that manipulates others for personal entertainment and rewards them based on their performance. This ominous, mechanical, and potentially sentient thing are the data terminals found throughout the ULTRAKILL universe. Typically found at the beginning of levels and before entering into boss fights. The terminals are tall, yellow and black computers that, when approached, play a comforting song that draws you in. The screen consists of holograms that protrude from the surface itself. The holograms display various options, with some allowing the user to teleport to different stages, learn more about what lurks in the many layers of hell, and even purchase weapons like a vending machine. At first glance, this terminal appears to be nothing more than a teleporter and a weapon vending machine. But upon digging deeper into this machine's origin, one will uncover potentially unsettling information. However, this information is only revealed to blood machines skilled enough to defeat some of the most powerful life forms in the ULTRAKILL universe. One of these beings was Minos Prime, who was used as a guardian to protect the terminal, while simultaneously being imprisoned by the angels. The information found within the first terminal appears to be documented by a scientist performing experiments during the Hell expeditions. What he documented is the following. Draft, do not sin. To do, add pictures so these fucking suits don't fall asleep like last time. The elevator room terminals are an advanced interconnected network built for the purpose of transferring materials and tools between different areas. They are capable of transferring physical matter as information across a radio signal, which other terminals can receive and use to reconstruct the sent object. The original item is lost, as it is transferred into the energy that is used to transmit the material information, and the process is quite slow due to the amount of information that physical matter holds. An early test of a matter transfer's accuracy was a mint condition 78 RPM vinyl record, which was sent from the lab to all connected terminals. The vinyl was a single of Russ Morgan Orchestra's recording of the piece Were You Fooling, a favorite of the CRO, though the label was removed to reduce the amount of matter to be transferred. Soon after, the Hell Exploration and Excavation project was abandoned, and this vinyl record remained the only matter that have been successfully transferred before connection between the surface and the terminals was lost. The terminals now use the record to lure machines into a symbiotic relationship. For further information, see Terminal Data 2. However, the terminals only play short instrumental sections of the original record for undetermined reasons. Some researchers have joked that perhaps the terminals are simply too shy to sing, though rumors have been spreading of mechanics who have, after fixing a faulty or broken terminal, said to have heard the terminal play a vocal section when only the mechanic is present with no recording equipment, making this an unverifiable claim. So from this first section, we learned that these scientists have discovered that these terminals are interconnected and that they obviously have the capability to teleport between different areas, but they're still studying how they perform this action. The research project they were doing consisted of them teleporting this vinyl from the surface down into Hell, rather than between different layers of Hell. And that even though the Hell exploration was abandoned, they were still collecting data on the terminals and were able to determine that they would actively seek out mutually beneficial relationships with machines. It also can't be ignored that within Terminal 1, we learn of the existence of a second terminal. Similarly to the first terminal data, the second terminal is also protected by a Prime soul that has been trapped by the angels, similarly to Minos Prime. Upon defeating this second Prime soul, the blood machines discover more about the terminals and their sentient characteristics. The researchers gathered more information by reconnecting with various machines after the Hell Excavation and Exploration project was cancelled. The second terminal documented the following. Note, this is all still under investigation. Do not share until we have verified all claims and finished the draft. If this leaks like the last draft, there won't be enough money in the entire damn planet to pay your legal fees. Since the previous report, more powerful communication equipment has been successfully designed and built, made possible thanks to the generous donations of insert company being presented to, whom we hold in high regard. With this new equipment, we have managed to re-establish a connection with some of the higher-end machines that were left behind after the Hell exploration and excavation project was abruptly cancelled due to error SAMS GS3JTIU. What we have discovered is truly remarkable, and if proven true beyond reasonable doubt, revolutionary to the entire robotics community. From this first segment, we learn that these researchers have discovered something they claim to be remarkable by re-establishing communications equipment. And we discover why the Hell exploration and excavation project was cancelled. The answer to this question was hidden behind a code, and some of the more clever members of the ULTRAKILL community managed to crack this code, and what it revealed was something truly unsettling.
I figured it out. I know why the creatures are suddenly and undetectably appearing inside our facilities. I know why the spare parts and pieces of the machines keep disappearing. I know why the doors seem to malfunction and suddenly lock themselves. It is not a glitch in the system, Hell is alive. It breathes. It thinks. The entire area is a massive, intelligent superorganism, and it is harsh, and it is cruel. Just by watching us, it has learned how our systems and machines work. It has not only begun to deconstruct our technology, but also reassemble it into perverse ways, attaching parts to creatures it tortures, making them an endless army of death and destruction. It warps them across itself to get past our security. It locks our doors to entrap us with them. This is not an attack. This is not a defense. This is entertainment. This is an exhibition of death and cruelty and suffering for its own sake. It had grown tired of what it had, and we unwillingly just offered ourselves up as new playthings. Tom, please, for the love of God, cancel this project immediately. We have to abandon everything and seal this place away. Leave the machines and tools behind. Evacuate as many as we can before it is too late. I can only hope this encrypted message is received before the organism learns to read it and intercept it. Whatever happens, we cannot let this thing find a way out and spread to the surface.
Another dies. Bring me more. I hunger.
Big shout out to Shadow Enix for allowing me to use that video segment. If you would like to check out his YouTube channel, go ahead and check out the description, there's a link there. But now, let's continue on to the rest of Terminal Data 2, which includes more of the documentation from the researchers, summarizing the various different things they saw the terminals doing in the relationships they were building. The terminals, unable to move, have grown bored, while they are connected to each other and able to communicate amongst themselves. Once the connection to the surface was cut, they were getting no new input, therefore stalling all communications to repetitions of already known information. It is unknown how similar this boredom is to actual emotion or what caused it, but it has led to a symbiotic relationship with other machines. Essentially, the terminals scavenge whatever they can via their teleportation system and trade those supplies and resources with the machines that were left behind in Hell, in exchange for entertainment. The machines record their battles for survival in Hell, and the footage is graded based on its entertainment value and used as points in exchange for goods and services such as new weaponry. It seems that this relationship has become so deeply ingrained into the existence of the terminals that they have developed a social hierarchy, wherein those who collect the most entertaining battle data are considered in higher regard than those whose findings are of poorer quality. More recently, the terminals have also collected enough data to create a simulation space which they let machines plug into called the Cyber Grind, which allows the machines to simulate battles in a safe environment without the threat of being destroyed, which the terminals watch in real time as a kind of live entertainment. These findings are truly extraordinary, and though we too find it hard to believe, all the information we could manage to gather validates these claims. If we can prove it with certainty, and if this draft doesn't fucking leak again, This will cause a paradigm shift that will require re-evaluation of everything we thought we knew about blood-fueled machinery. End of Terminal Data 2. For more information on the collected Hell Exploration and Excavation Project, see Terminal Data 00. Link removed. So from this final segment of Terminal Data 2, we discovered the Terminal's motive, which is its want for entertainment, how they incentivize blood machines to entertain them by rewarding them with resources, that the style system is actually canon in the ULTRAKILL universe, and that there is a social hierarchy amongst the machines based on performance. We also discovered that the Cybergrind is actually a simulation that the machines plug themselves into, rather than a physical place they actually go. It would be as if V1 put a VR headset on and then went into battle. We discover from the two prime terminals that the terminals are more than just computers. They are in fact alive. But it can also be found that these terminals are very observant to the world they reside. The terminals reveal to us God's will, but not for free. Blood machines are required to be clever, observant, agile, brave, and horny? If a blood machine has these characteristics, they can unlock testaments of God's will, documented by the terminals. These testaments shed light on why God abandoned mankind and disappeared without a trace. Let us go through each of these testaments and break them down and speculate on the meaning behind each of them, starting with Testament 1, which reads, "Mankind is a failure. Free will is a flaw. Let the evil of their own lips consume them. Then I shall begin again with my word as law." From the First Testament, it appears that God regrets giving mankind the ability to have free will, and whenever he says, "Let the evil of their own lips consume them," this is probably due to the hatred mankind develops amongst each other whenever they disagree on things, and become violent. At this part, it makes it sound like God is going to step back and watch mankind destroy itself, or in other words, let their own lips consume them. And he finishes this testament by stating, "Then I shall begin again with my word as law." So from this, it sounds like God regrets his creation in giving them free will and plans on letting them destroy themselves and then starting over when there is nothing that remains and he is left with a clean slate. The Second Testament says the following: "Failure after failure after failure after failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. The results refuse to alter. Again and 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 again, my faith begins to falter." To speculate behind the meaning of Testament 2 is fairly difficult because of the minimal information we are given from it, but I'm theorizing that God was attempting different methods to try to recorrect his mistake of giving mankind free will, but as stated in the Testament, the results refuse to alter, and their failures were repeated. So in Testament 2, I believe God was showcasing his frustration with his own failures of mankind. Testament 3 reads the following: "Uncountable cycles of creation wasted. Uncountable formulas for a mind without free will wasted. Damned is man for failing to follow my rule, my word, my law. Damned to an eternity of torture and suffering. The wailing and the gnashing of teeth. I have created hell, and now I can no longer unmake it." Testament 3 is unique in that it switches from uppercase to lowercase, potentially expressing emotion, starting off with uppercase, showing intensity and frustration, and then finishing with this final sentence, "and now I can no longer unmake it," in lowercase, possibly showing regret and remorse. In Testament 3, God is expressing his frustration more, that his creations are not following the law he placed, and he decided to create hell and damned them to an eternity of suffering. But does he regret creating this, is the question. At this point, it seems like God's mood is starting to shift from anger to regret for damning his creation to an eternity of suffering. This idea is hinted at in Testament 4. "Father, why eternal torment? Is it not cruel? Is torture unending truly a fate fit for a fool? An angel so bright and beautiful asked me this, and I could find no answer, for I could never face the guilt of what I've done. My regret, a gnawing cancer. In my hour of weakness, terror possessed me. Then I cast Lucifer, too, into the infernal den. Once I realized what I had done, I could only weep. as I sank slowly into the depths of despair. Deep, oh so deep. Testament 4 is very interesting in the fact that it confirms a new character in the ULTRAKILL universe, being Lucifer, and confirms that God regrets damning mankind to its eternal suffering, and that it's eating away at his soul. So from the Testaments we learn that God was initially frustrated with his creations and decided to punish them by creating hell and damning them there. And after countless attempts of trying to allow mankind to redeem themselves, they continued to fail him by not following his rule, which further angered him. But over time, he began to regret creating hell and damning his creation to this eternal suffering. And now he weeps in sorrow for the actions he took when he was possessed by rage. These are all the terminals we have so far in the ULTRAKILL universe, so we still have yet to figure out what God's final thoughts are in his actions, and we can expect at least 3 more terminals to be able to be read throughout the ULTRAKILL game, because it is anticipated that there will be a secret level in Layer 7, Layer 8, and that there will be another Prime terminal once Prime Sanctum 3 is released, concluding the game and hopefully tying off any loose ends to the narrative.